What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video review. This time it's Eric Killmonger from the movie Black Panther, and you can order this figure at bigbadtoystore.com. Just click the link down below. They offer $4 shipping. They double box your figure, and you can put it on Pile of Loot. So go ahead and check the link out down in the description. So let's take a look at the box itself. It's a beautiful box by Hot Toys. As you can see here, there's some foil images here, so they're kind of shiny. I don't know, I just love the color of Killmonger because of the gold trims, and it's just, I feel like it's a better design overall than Black Panther. And you can see even the inside, that's the mask that he wore when they were trying to break out that the other bad guy. I forgot his name, but I wish they would have included that mask. Honestly, it doesn't fit the entire figure, but it's an accessory, you know, if you are planning to do a kit bash of Killmonger, because honestly he's a bit light in terms of accessories, but he got 2 head sculpts, so I can't really complain about that. That is what I mostly look for in a figure, which is, you know, if you got 2 head sculpts, I am mostly satisfied with that. It comes with a backdrop, which I, you know, really never use, to be quite honest with you. I mean, they're nice, but even on photography, they're so narrow that there's not a whole lot of purpose there for me. So this is the unboxing of him. So you can see there, that's the accessories, which we would take a closer look later on. I like doing this, you know, kind of like a flat layout, but here it is. You know, the hands are nicely crafted. There's some assortment of hands there, kind of like the Panther claw hands, some weapon holding hands, and the other one's kind of like just an open palm hands, so to speak. And I just want to show you up close the details in here, which you can always expect from these 1/6. That's why I do love 1/6, especially, you know, like Hot Toys and Asmus and Starries and all that stuff. They pay close attention to the paint details, and I guess it's easier to do paint applications as well on 1/6. They're not that small, they're not that big, so just, to me, it's perfect size. You can see it's very clean when it comes to the paint application, and you can see those details on the glove, which is consistent pattern to his overall suit as well. So I just love the combination of black and gold. That's just me. I wish they would have a little bit more shiny, kind of like foliage, you know, sort of like a foil material or paint. But, you know, that's asking way too much, I suppose. And he comes with this broken spear that is plastic but nicely painted as well. It's not die cast, which is I'm always fine with. And you can see those ropes, which they could have easily made real, I suppose, but that would take a lot of time. Even the back part, it looks like a broken, you know, like a broken wood, a spear. You can see, you know, like the chip on the bottom of the spear, and on top here. I mean, I suppose if they made it kind of real, it feels more authentic, but at the same time, I can see, you know, the struggles of manufacturing that at the same time. And this is the sword that he used. This sword has a lot of details on it as well. It's not die cast. Again, it's made out of plastic, but as long as it's painted nicely, I'm okay with that. You know, I don't mind. And you can see there's a lot of chips that this looks like the sword has been used. I don't know if you can even call it a sword. But I'll call it a sword. And you can see the handle nicely painted as well. That bronze color on the side, and it does have a lot of this, you know, imperfection on it. So let's put it down there. It's beautiful. And moving along, this is the base, which is a nice combination of flat, like a smooth surface, and also some textured surface as well. And you can see like the Black Panther logo. It's not like just a stick-on of some sort. It feels nice. So, you know, you're gonna get some premium stand out there. But as far as the outfit, there's a lot of outcry when they first released the actual photos of these Killmonger. Because with Black Panther, as you do remember, he comes with this feature where it is, they glow in the black light. Killmonger does not, so they just put all those yellow lines in there. And there were jokes that he looks like the tech suit, I believe Mark 6. But the lines are not that fat. Honestly, you know, they're actually thinner in person, so it doesn't look, but since they're always on, which I suppose they're only supposed to be on when he got this energy built up on his suit, sort of like Black Panther, but, you know, with him it's purple, with him it's yellow. It actually in my opinion, it gives the overall suit more accent, and I like it this way. To be quite honest with you, I like the I don't know if it's called panther or leopard prints on it. It looks more leopardish to me compared to Black Panther, which is just straight up black. In his case, it gives the suit a little bit more, like animalistic look. Compared to Black Panther. Like with Black Panther, if it doesn't come with the black light, it looks a little bit dull. To be quite honest with you, if he's just standing there. But with him, you don't necessarily need the black light, because if you turn on the black light at all times, you're gonna consume power and you might burn out the bulbs and all that stuff. So I only turn it on when there's I'm trying to showcase with my friends, or trying to do photography or video of the figure. But with him, in his case, like you can see these markings even without the light. So I think it just adds some more to the uniqueness of the figure, and it adds more, I guess, I don't know how to call it. It's just nicer to maybe that's the word. I was gonna use some fancier word, but it looks more ethnic, more tribal and all that stuff to the suit. Now, would I wish this would have been like glow in the dark, sort of like the Black Panther? Yeah, sure. But the downside is he might look boring if he's just, sitting on the shelf by himself. Although the pattern might help with that as well, to him not looking too much boring. Or make it light up, put some, I don't know how that's gonna work though. But this is one of the problem that I do have. Not a big problem, but the yellow lines are not as, I guess, intense when it comes to the head sculpt with the mask, which makes it a little looking out of place, because it looks washed out with blacks, and like with the body, it's a nice combination of gold and black, and the pattern with the head sculpt, it looks like there's a lot of things going on, so it looks like more of a black wash instead of just mashing up with the entire surface of his body. But overall, I like the design of this mask. It looks intense. I just like it looks mean, and then the eyes, it's a bit glossy as well. There's a little bit shine on it, which you can easily use if you're doing some Photoshop and you up the brightness of this one. So if you want to make it like pop out a little bit more, I'm trying to play out with the lights there. So I made it gold. I don't know if it's gonna look in the theme, but it just I don't know. It doesn't fit well, so I'll probably just go back with the white there. But yeah, overall, I like the intensity of this mask. And moving here, I don't know what that was for. Moving up here, it looks nice. It's just up close with his mask. I think I was doing a transition there, but there you go. Just want to show you all the overall details up close with the mask of this Black Panther. And if you turn him around here, there's like a little bits and pieces here. This is why I love 1/6. All the little details that it's just perfect size in my opinion. See those markings on his head, all the lines. I wish some of the lines were a bit yellow, or maybe this is the time where they would have implemented those paint with him. They kind of like translucent paint. I don't know. All I know is that like it's a bit. There's a bit of a difference between the body and the mask, where it should have been. It should have been just one seamless transition, in my opinion. However, I would take it any day of the week. You see those yellow lines on his neck, and it kind of ends on his mask. That's it. That's my only gripe when it comes to this figure. And then when we take a look at the other head sculpt, which is the Michael B. Jordan, there's also a bit of controversy when it comes to this head sculpt, because people were saying it doesn't look like him. Now, I can tell you, having it on hand, you don't need to buy a third-party head sculpt. It is pretty well. It's nicely made. Under right lighting, as you can see here. If you put the aperture wide open, it looks nice. You can see him from that angle. The skin tone is nice. It doesn't. I've seen. I think it's Pix Nuts or something. Whatever his name is. He does have a double chin. I'm not a big fan of that. The only thing I would have changed on this head sculpt is it looks intense, man. You put the head down, his eyes are looking up. It looks intense, but if you're fighting or something, maybe a more intense head sculpt, like the mouth is open, that's ready to fight or something like that. But this one looks great if it's just standing. If it looks like a pictorial, for example, which I get it, because for the most part, this figure would just stand straight up. I like the suit. The suit is different from Black Panther. The Black Panther suit reminds me of a Spider-Man suit, where it can stretch in and out, but it's a little bit on the thinner side compared to Killmonger, which I feel like the suit is nicely made. It's a bit thicker, so I can honestly pose him, but for the most part, he will just stand there, to be quite honest with you, and that's what he's gonna do. But the figure itself looks great, can't complain. Look at that. Man, that is ooh. That is good paint application right there. You can see the highlights, the shadows. It's just evenly perfect. Even the fade. It is some beautiful fade. The hairstyle just works perfectly. I would say this is a better head sculpt than what we got for Chadwick Boseman for Black Panther. I'm a bit of a iffy on that head sculpt, honestly. But, I at first when I saw the final photos of Killmonger, because I love the character Killmonger. I would say he's the second best villain on MCU. You might disagree with me on this one. I'll put Thanos first, and then Killmonger second, and Loki third. But, that's not saying much. MCU's villains are just horrible. Even from the Iron Man movies, they're not that good. Thor, if there's no Loki, I mean, Hela's okay. But I would say easily, for me, at least for me, Killmonger is the second best villain in MCU right after Thanos. So I feel like I needed to get him. I love the movie Black Panther as well, but his motives are a bit different compared to the other villains. But, you got that conflict of interest and all that stuff. So that's one of the reasons why I picked him up recently. You put him down, see the eyes are kind of slightly going up. When you put him down right there, you can't use this head sculpt for Creed though. So I guess if there's a recaster out there, but the paint application of Hot Toys is just so much better that even on the see that if you turn off the lights, that is just Mean Mug right there by Michael B. Jordan, which is a tremendous actor, by the way. And here he goes. Let's take a look at some of the poses that I can put with this Killmonger. I'm implementing this new green screen. So you guys don't like it. I don't know how well this translates on YouTube while I'm recording this audio. So, but I found this image on the web where, they're in the top of I guess their final battle in Wakanda, where they're trying to look for the sunset. But posability wise, he's up there, man. I mean, the suit does not hinder any. At least for me, any articulation whatsoever. Of course, I don't expect him to split. Like I have at this point in my life, I have a realistic expectation of some suits, what I could push the boundary on and what not. Obviously on an Iron Man diecast figure, you can pretty much do a lot of things. But on somebody like Killmonger, you gotta know the limitations of the suit and the figure as well. And this is him kind of like, I was trying to recreate where he was pointing towards Shuri when they first fought, or Shuri or Michonne, whatever her name is, on Black Panther. But you can't, like with the hands, you can't really do the pointing of the sword as well. So this is as much, I suppose, that I could do. And here it is. I mean, it turned out to be pretty okay in my opinion, but he looks great, man. I mean, if you have second doubts, because he's still available at Big Bad, so if you want to pick him up, he's out there. Just I'll put the link down below. You wouldn't regret it, honestly. I had second doubts. That's why it took me this long to get him. But at the same time, don't really have any doubts, to be quite honest. They just all came in at the same time with Batman, Justice League, and then this new pandemic that we're into. So it took me a little bit longer for me to pick him up, and once I was kind of free because they delayed Superman and Thanos and all that stuff. So I was just like, hey, you know what? I got some extra cash. He wasn't in my top priority, but I always wanted him to begin with, and this is one of those poses that I was talking about. It didn't translate well when I was posing him. It looks good because the knee is kind of upwards. It all depends on the camera angle as well. So I put him in this not Jarrell, Zod, General Zod display piece right here, because he does come with the bendable stand, which Killmonger didn't, which is okay. I'm okay with that, because for the most part I'm not gonna put him there. And here he is sitting on the throne, which I also do have. No, there's some clipping out there in his armpits, but see, he can sit fairly well. I didn't even change the hands, so he's still holding his weapons out there, so you can see his feet. He sits nicely. Yeah, I didn't even change the head. I wanted to change his head sculpt to Michael B. Jordan, but decided against it, I suppose. And here he is, moving around. He sits pretty well, although I don't suggest that you put him in this position for too long, because I don't know, with this type of figures, if their outfit is not cloth, if there's somewhat of a delicate, fabric like this one, or plastic or rubber or whatever the case may be, I always don't want to compromise the figure, because in the long term, I think, it'll stretch out and you're going to pay the price for it. So most likely in my shelf, he'll be in a static pose. But when I take him out, like for a photo op or like a video like this, it's nice to know that you can push the limits of his legs and all that stuff if you wanted to. I don't suggest it more often, but you can see the height comparison is a bit taller than Black Panther, but Black Panther's arms just look so much longer than his. Maybe his arms, like, look at Black Panther, it looks like he's an actual panther, which is a pretty nice touch right there. And there you go, guys. This is what you're gonna get pretty much if you do get Killmonger. And you can see the the backdrop right there, which I didn't, I'm not a big fan of backdrops. I like that they're there, though. Make no mistake about it. I like that they're there. So for those who can display them, awesome. For somebody like me, no use whatsoever. But there you go. If you were having second thoughts, like I mentioned earlier, don't. This is one of those figures, because he's dead on the movie. If you haven't seen it, it's been 2 years. So spoiler alert. But unless it's MCU we're talking about here, so he can easily come back. He's such a great character that you gotta have him. If you're somewhat of a fan of MCU, or if you watch the movie, you know how great his performance is and how great the character is. You just gotta have him. You just have to. So don't wait till he is like $400 on the aftermarket. A couple of years from now, get him while you can. And enjoy. And thank you for watching. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel. And I have a channel on Twitch, so if you're into gaming or just want to watch somebody blabber around, and you can catch me there live streaming pretty much every day. So follow me on Twitch and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next review.